outside, they got this barn here at the Harvest Thrift Store where you can buy old windows, and boy, they're really reasonably priced. $6. Can't go wrong on that if you need an old window for a project. Wow. They're so big, though, I hate to haul them home. And they got some old doors here. And some other stuff. So we're at this thrift store in Wilmot, Ohio, and we buy and sell stuff for our 2 antique booths and the 2 antique malls that we're in. Maumee Antiques in Maumee, Ohio, and Plaza Antiques in Lincoln Park, Michigan. So this is a store we go to whenever we come here. I usually find the best stuff here. It's amazing how much jewelry they have. I really have to dig through it all. And I didn't really buy much jewelry this time, but not at this particular store, but the next one I really reap. So you always got to look for jewelry. Typically, there's not a lot of jewelry in this area of the country because a lot of the women just don't wear it because of their religious beliefs. But there was more today than I expected, so that was good. So we took a look at all that stuff there. And then they had like a big rack of it over here. They had some rings, but they mainly had stretch rings, and stretch rings don't do real well for me. I can only get about $1, maybe $2 on a good day. So I tend to stay away from the stretch rings. And they had lots of necklaces and things like that. But nothing that struck me that I really needed to have. There was a bunch of earrings there. They were brand new. Now the purse section, I usually find stuff here in the purse section. For whatever reason, this store seems to have a lot of good purses. That silver one was really nice. Looked like something that somebody had for a wedding. And their prices are so cheap. $1.50 for a purse. My goodness, you just can't go wrong on that. That's one thing nice about the thrifting around this area is the prices are so reasonable compared to thrifting around my area at home. So we were only down in this area for like one night, but we went to a lot of stores and we had a really good time. And of course we went and got good food too while we were down here. Those look like some Vera Bradleys there. I believe I passed on them. I think they were priced a little bit too high for me. They sell pretty good for me, but they go in stages. Sometimes I can sell a lot of them, and sometimes I don't sell any for a couple months. You just never know. Ooh, I like that purse. Look at all the old sequins on that one. That's a nice old one. So I definitely picked up on that one. It had a little bit of damage, some threads that needed to kind of be fixed on the top, but it all in all was not in too bad a shape for how old that was. So we got to go through all these little wallets because sometimes you find the little decorative purses in there too. But today there was mainly newer ones. So nothing too much there that struck my fancy. And sometimes I have to go through them a couple times because I miss things. Oh, that black one was nice. It's like almost like a crocheted one. I'm not sure how old that one, but I thought that was real neat looking. So I picked up on that one also. And at the end of this video, you'll see all the stuff that we bought at these 2 stores. So make sure to stay tuned. And I'm dabbling in toys these days, so they had a whole room of toys and kids stuff, so I had to definitely dig through all that stuff. I'm looking for those, I think they're called Briar horses, and they're usually marked in the inner leg. That's why I'm looking there. I think it's Briar. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, there's always a marking on the inside of the back leg, and that's how you can tell. And here's some dolls and stuffed animals. Stuff like that. And a big basket of cars. Let's kind of dig through those. See if there's any older ones in there. They had a lot of bag lots too. So I dug through all their little bag lots because they had action figures mixed in there, and I have to look a little bit of that stuff up on my phone because I'm not that familiar which ones to look for that are high value, other than the obvious ones, you know, the obvious type ones like old Star Wars or something like that. But, oh, there was a Disney one in there. Looked like Bambi. So these were about $5, between $3 and $5 these bags were, which was still very reasonable price. Look at all the action figures in this one. That one was a nice one too. If the bags were only $1 or $2, I'd be all over those. But you know, I do want to make sure I get a couple of, a little bit of value in each bag. Otherwise, it's not really worth me buying. Now, if you're buying it for your family, of course, buy those things. That was a really good deal. If you have children in the family. And here's some more. These look like more baby toys. Oh, lots of little ponies. The older little ponies are worth more than the newer ones. And these were mainly just newer ones there. So like I said, lots of toys. Here's another bag of horses. And they're marked on the hoofs, those horses are. And usually they are marked with a date. So if you get the older ones, they're a little bit more valuable than anything new. So that's kind of why I was looking at those. Actually, we have a friend in our family that collects those also. And I bought things for her before, too, in the past. So those are all done. Let's see what else we got. As you can tell, I spent some serious time in the toy section because I really wanted to look at every bag to make sure that nothing slipped through. Because like I said, the prices here are so reasonable and there was so much of it, you just had to really look through all of it. So lots of baby toys. Those are kind of cute. Those C&C. And some more baby toys up there. And on the clothing racks, in the middle of them, on the top is where they put a lot of their home decor. So you had to really walk around this whole place to make sure you see it all. And here we're in a section of frames. And there's even some Amish clothes. And I looked in the hair things in case there was a rhinestone one, but it wasn't in the best of shape. So I passed on that one. It was pretty, but I didn't know if I could make any profit on that. And I also buy a lot of baseball caps these days, but I didn't see any there that I thought would be a good one to sell. They have lots of Ohio stuff. And some with more local companies. That's what you typically see. And here's some more lighting and globes. And there's another section of the store that's actually a whole different store. So we're going to head to that next. Now we're at the second Harvest thrift store, the Annex store. So we're going to go in here and see what we have in here that we could look at. And boy, this is an interesting rack right in the front. I don't know what this is for. But it looks kind of cool. Maybe for balls? I'm not sure. What is it for? Yeah, I think it's too big for hats on the bottom. If you know what that is, make sure you put a comment in the video. Because it's only $9.50. Boy, I might be losing out on this one. So this second part of the store, it's actually a whole separate building, has more of the home decor and a lot of the older items. And that was a nice piece of fitment. And of course, I picked it up. It was a good deal. They had a lot of really nice pictures. And lots and lots of home decor and dishes. And this is really what I typically look for. But you never know. You got to go to both stores because sometimes there's a little bit of that in the other part too. So, but this one has the majority of it. So nice old pictures. Religious pictures sell really well too. I typically buy those if they're really reasonable. And here's lots of kitchen gadgets. And I'm looking for those red wooden handles on that. And here's some linens. Lots of linens here. And they were very reasonable. I have a overabundance of linens right now that I'd just like to kind of get rid of. So I didn't really purchase any of the linens today. These were kind of nice. They were like stencils that you could use on furniture. And those are pretty pricey. So I always look at the craft stuff. And here's some glassware. And some candles. And ooh, nice piece of forest green. I definitely picked up on that one. I believe it was only $1.50, but wait till the end and you'll be able to see all the finds we got. And these are really nice too, 50 cents a piece. And no chips, no cracks. That was a no-brainer. I got those too. Super nice. Beautiful flowers. In good shape. So there was a set of those I picked up on. And here's some more of the dishes and vases and some holiday decor. As you can see, this store is just filled with stuff. They really have a great selection. If you're in this area, you'll definitely want to go to these places. And they had a whole green section for St. Patrick's Day. And all decorated. These were nice too. These were the forest green inserts that I believe go in with the Manhattan platter. The Manhattan depression glass. There's a big round platter, and those are the inserts that go in it to make it like a vegetable tray type of thing. So although that was a good deal, I really would rather have the whole pieces of it where I have the whole platter and the inserts. And I don't right now. I don't have the platter at home. So let's go to the next store. Here we have the Harvest Thrift Store, and this is the same branch as the other one that we went to in Wilmot, but this one is in Walnut Creek. And can you believe this? It's March 1st. It's 73 degrees out here. This is crazy. In Ohio. So there's lots of furniture in this store. And lots of home decor also in this store. And it's a little bit more crunched in than the last store, but still a lot of good items in here. There was a nice little Vera Bradley wallet. I didn't pick up on that. I can't get much more than about $5, maybe $5 or $6 for those. So they have to be really reasonable for me to pick those up. I only can pay about $1 or $2 for those. But if you're buying for yourself, of course, that's a very good deal at these stores. I had to look through the clothes because you never know if you find some vintage clothes in there. And they also have the things on top of the shelves that you have to make sure you look at because it's kind of everywhere. And here was the hat section. I always check those out. And here was a whole rack for 50 cents. Can't beat that for clothes. So I checked those out just for ourselves. So a lot of times in these thrift stores, I buy things for ourselves too. Sometimes I buy clothing or shoes or something like that. But I'm pretty much showing you what I'm buying for the business. And here are some nice bag lots too. Just like the other store, I had to go through all these and see if there was anything really good here. That was a good way to wrap them in those little mesh bags like that. That was kind of cute. It had a soft bottom, shape sorter. That was kind of interesting. And even some of the modern toys I've been buying, I've been selling quite a bit of them because I guess I haven't shopped for toys in a long time. My kids are all grown up, and toys are really expensive. So that's probably why I think I'm being so successful at this branching off into toys, because I make my prices very reasonable. So that you can buy the collectible stuff, but you could also buy something for your own children in my booth if you wanted to. Like I have a whole load of Barbies and Disney dolls right now. I think I got $3, $4 a piece on it. And those sell really well for me. Just because people are going through the mall, they have a couple kids with them, and they like to get a little treat too. So we want to provide that treat at a reasonable amount of money. So I think the toys are going to be the future for me, doing more toys. I've really done quite well with those. It's just learning about them more. My knowledge is a little bit limited on those. So it'll get better. And of course, I'll do the traditional antiques too. I think when you have a booth, it's best to have a wide variety of things. That way, somebody will always find something in your booth. So here's some more of the housewares and the dishes. And there was a nice teapot there, but they had a chip on it. Otherwise, I'd have bought that one. Nice, small, little decorative items. And some Easter items. And I'm going to go through what we got at all these stores. So make sure you stay tuned and let's see what I got. So here's the item I got at the Harvest Thrift Store in Wilmot, Ohio. I got these bowls and they're not marked. So I did a search on them. I got them for 50 cents a piece and I believe there's 6 of them. Maybe to a berry set, I'm not sure. The only thing I could find that was the same was I found a plate on, I think it was Etsy or something like that, for $30. Realistically, gosh, I'm not sure. Maybe $20 for the set. Not sure on that one. I'll have to think about that one and maybe do some more research on it. But they're really beautiful. You can tell they're old. And they're all in good shape. There's no chips and no cracks. Here's a piece of the forest green glassware from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And that was $1.50. And that's probably about $7, $8 all day. This was a nice piece of Fenton. I paid $6.50 for it. It's a newer piece of Fenton. I don't know if it has the markings. Yes, it does have the markings on the bottom. Sometimes Fenton is marked, sometimes not. The newer stuff tends to be marked more. And that's $15 for sure, if not $20. It's a nice piece of milk glass. And these 2 purses here I got for $1 each. Not big ticket items. The one with the sequins has got some a little bit of damage on the top I'm going to have to fix. But probably $5, maybe $5, $6 for those. So that was great. So I did quite well there. These bowls especially are quite nice. These are the items I got at the other Harvest thrift store. They have one in Wilmot, and then this one was in Sugarcreek. And boy, did I luck out here. I got this little tray for $1, which that's a no-brainer. That's worth between 8 and 10. But look at the jewelry I got. I could not believe that this jewelry was still out. And it was later in the day. And especially this pin. That's a $30 pin for sure, if not a little more. And the prices were really cheap. And I asked the lady, I said, how is this still there? She says, oh, we just put it out. So we lucked out. So I'm really glad we went there later. These pins range from, well, I paid between $1, and I think the most I paid was $2.50, which was that blue one. And a lot of these pins, they range from, well, the flower and the Disney pin are probably maybe $5, $6, but most of them are going to be probably around $10 and up. So this was a great find, and I just happened to be lucky enough to get there just when they were putting those out. And wow, that was a nice surprise. Beautiful jewelry. So this is Lou from Lou's Antiques and Collectibles saying goodbye, and I'll see you again. Bye.